2. What's up with y'all? Episode number 2. Y'all already know it's your boy 215 Got Beats, aka Streets, aka you already know this. You already know. Producer's favorite new podcast. I'm just putting that energy out there because it will soon to be. Let Me Rap With You. Now, first of all, before we get into anything, before we even get into the topic, the guests or anything, first of all, over 100 views in a matter of a week. First of all, it was 100 views in 3 days, actually. And I would like to thank everybody that's been listening, everybody that's been tuning in, everybody that's been DMing me. I've been getting a lot of great messages from a lot of producers. And I will actually try to go live one day with Poppy for a little, fan appreciation. I'm going to get that together. We'll get into that information later on. But, like I said, thankful. I think the podcast YouTube has 12 subscribers. That's not bad. I'll take 12 before I take 0, Pardon me, I usually have the situation, situated before I usually do the episode. But we're actually going to have to multitask today because, I wanted to make sure we stay on schedule with the guests and all that, intro segment and all that, and that's actually a part of the topic of discussion, which is staying on schedule, staying on your goals. I actually posted the promo last night, right before, I came in and did the episode today. So today's topic, or today's title for the podcast, actually, and I'm going to give a reason why I named it that. What if Dolphins had iPhones? Everybody looking at me like, what? What if Dolphins had iPhones? Now, before y'all, think that, wait, he's going to be talking about Dolphins? I thought this was about producing and artists and rappers. Yes, this is actually about y'all, but I had to use, a funny reference to actually, express, how I feel about this. So, my thing is technology is y'all can't say technology isn't by far and it's not even at the peak, not even at the top of where it's at. Technology is innovating every day, and it's we see that a lot of us, and trust me, I am included, a lot of us, 90, 95 maybe, it's a good percentage of us that's using social media the wrong way, and we can be steering this energy in a better way, and all that. So I feel like that's exactly why I feel like it was perfect for me to bring the guests who I wanted to bring in, for today's episode to actually talk about that. But before we get into the guest call, before we get into who I'm letting y'all know who's coming in today, this podcast is sponsored by Demolier, Demolier Shop. Think you dripping? You ain't dripping till you come shop with us. Come shop at Demolier. Hit up my guy Smash215. You already know. Instagram Smash215 or Demolier Shop. That's DEMOLIR Shop. No underscore, no none of that. Website got all that new drip every couple weeks. He probably working on something now. I ain't even talked to him in a few days. Last time I talked to him, he was making moves. You feel me? So, And this podcast is also sponsored by Major Loops, producers. If you had beat block, you've been stuck, you've just been trying to get that next hit with an artist, you've just been trying to get that next placement, or you've been looking for better drums, better samples, loops, whatever you're looking for, come shop with Major Loops. We got the best stuff for whatever you need, construction kits, drums, 808s, loops, guitars, you name it. We got the best stuff for you. You should come shop with us at majorloops.com. Shout out my guy Wave Guy, making a lot happen. We're helping a lot of producers, get a lot of placements, but that's another story, I'm going to make sure I get him for that interview too as well, but right now, I'm actually working on sending him the link right now to the Zoom call. But the guest that we got today is up and coming and legendary rapper, producer, podcaster, engineer. This guy basically does it all. So we got Jacksonville's up and coming legend Bluff Gawd. we're going to be having a good discussion today. you know, we've been talking about this for a week actually. And this episode is really going to be like it's really going to be authentic because like a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about isn't actually planned out, but also like I said, like the reason why I chose this episode topic, you're going to realize it once we get into the discussion that we're going to get into. But right now, at the current moment, I'm actually working on sending him the link right now. I'm actually going to send him the DM because I just emailed it to him. There we go. But I'm not even going to get into the Bluff Gawd has done a lot of work in the past years, but I'm not even going. Last time I gave y'all a brief intro, with Poppy and all that, but this time I'm actually just we gonna let all the sauce come out when the guest call comes in. But the one thing that I will give y'all just on my end, while I'm rolling this right now, Bluff is responsible for some of the ends that World of Metropolis has had, some of the releases that we had, and he's actually responsible for getting me and Barber Beats together, our 808 maker. He was actually responsible for getting us together. We'll explain that more later on into the episode. Also, another thing that he was responsible for, and this song actually just hit a K on Spotify, my artist AyeBee, he did a song for his debut EP, Songs to Smoke To. The very first song off the EP, Stuck to It, was not only produced by me, because the whole entire EP was executive produced by me, and we also have production from Arrogant and also from High Red. Shout out to you guys. Y'all definitely brought the end for the episode for the EP. But Stuck to It was not only produced by me, it was produced by me, Bluff Gawd, and Burnham and Jones, and says invalid. Wow. Okay, resending him another link. But yeah, I'll do the breakdown. Like, I can't do the breakdown on screen recording or nothing because I don't have anything up to there yet. But at the same time, what I will say, the way we did Stuck to It, Bluff had the original sample. Burnham and Jones had sent me some drums that week, and I think the week after that I had just started working on the beat. Originally, I was actually supposed to be on the song with AyeBee, but there was just so much going on, and we actually didn't get the time to, for me to do the hook and all that. So he had gotten his boy JCJ on it. He actually killed that hook. That's actually one of my favorite songs on the project. But Bluff had the original melody and sample. Burnham and Jones had all the drums from his kit, and I basically did like the arrangement and put it all together. So, it was very well put out. Sorry for interruption. We actually got Bluff coming in. 1 second, everybody. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, perfect. Let me rap with your podcast. We got special guest Bluff Gawd in the building. What's up with you, bro?
Yo, what up, man? Sorry for the goddamn technical difficulties, dude.
I've been feeling like actually I was trying to get a couple of guest interviews earlier this week. A lot of people have had like technical difficulties, so it's been a real paradox week, but all problems get resolved. Everything works out the way it should be. But
for sure, dude.
But while I was discussing, we was just discussing some production, and all that, and I was just giving the topic of discussion, but we're actually going to talk about the topic later on because, when we do the guest call, I usually like to do the story, the upbringing. I like to do all that before we discuss the topic. So, for those who don't already know the Jacksonville legendary Bluff Gawd, I would like for you, to give the new fans a good introduction for yourself before we get into this episode.
All right. My name is Bluff Gawd. I'm a producer, rapper from Jacksonville, Florida.
And one of the best podcasters. Let's not mention that.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks, man. I'm a podcaster too. I make samples. I guess. I mean, I guess that's producer. Yeah, I'm a rapper producer from Jacksonville, Florida, man.
Honestly, actually, let's we can actually wrap with that real quick because producers. I feel like there should be a I should actually have an episode one day where or a roundtable discussion where we talk about the different industries of producers themselves because I feel like you said, sample makers, drum construct.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like I actually do feel like that is all a part of production because collaborations I actually didn't mention this with Poppy in the first episode, but collaborations has existed before we was even born. So
yeah. Well, you couldn't make music without collaborating. 30 years ago, you probably could, but not really. You know what I mean? You kind of always needed a band. You go back to the popular music of the 1900s, right? And it's like bands and shit, and it's like really up until the end where it's like kind of one dude doing everything, or you know, two or three people doing everything. You know?
and there's times like, and I'm gonna even say in the '90s, early 2000s, there were guys who engineer, produce, do it all. But even the greatest of the greats have always collaborated. Dr. Dre has always said, I look at producer culture, Instagram. I think producer grind had posted one day on Instagram. They had posted a Dr. Dre video where he said he never made a hit alone, and
Yeah,
we're talking about a legend that's you know been in our presence for years, for decades. So I
right.
feel like even the greatest of the greats, like they'll.
Well, honestly, he probably made his best stuff when he collaborated with people, meaning like on other people's stuff, like working on like 50 Cent's shit or like working on like Kendrick's shit. I would say some of Dre's best shit is that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe not those specifically, but stuff where he like took that kind of role.
Hmm. Yeah, not or even the producers that he had for the Shady Aftermath projects, what whatever role they took.
Yeah.
So, but you know, why now that we're getting into the episode, we actually want to talk about your upbringing, where music started for you. Who was you around when music started? Who was you listening to when music started? The upbringing influences. Everybody like to know that story. So we can get
Yeah.
into that real
Yeah. I mean,
quick.
you want to go to the very beginning? Like I was like
We,
born in Ukraine, and like ever since like a little kid, I would always like find a song I like and just play that shit to death. You know what I mean? Like
wow, it's funny.
on
We're actually close collaborators, and I never even knew you was born in Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah, that is kind of crazy. Uh, now you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but I only lived there like 2 years, dude. I was born there, and we moved here like in '92 to Cleveland, and then my uncle he was American, so like he would always he'd play American music, and I got really into that, I guess, as a young kid, and then sound like Borat. And then like yeah, and then I moved down here, and the kid put me on to rap and shit, and we listened to the Real Slim Shady or whatever that song was, and then
Oh yeah, the
after
real
that I
Slim
started.
Shady.
Yeah, and that like I was in like elementary school, and then I just started listening to other shit little by little, and then on a trip to Ukraine, there was like a flea market, and I bought like you could they sold like these MP3 CDs, and what it was like on one CD there would be like 10 albums. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like basically like how they did like the little iTunes Jones back in the day. You could put like a whole bunch of albums on like one CD and all that shit. But I think
Yeah,
I think I think they had like I think they had an option on that on Windows Media Player as well. I
yeah,
forgot what I forgot what
yeah,
the option was.
yeah. You just had to burn it a certain way, and it would do it because the CDs would either have 80 minutes of playtime or like 800 megabytes. I don't know how I remember that, but that's what
It
it
was
was.
it was 800 megabytes.
Yeah,
That's how I
but
remembered. I bro, trust me.
yeah,
I sold a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
mixtapes in my days, bro. So trust me, I know.
And so basically, I ended up buying Tupac's and Wu-Tang's whole discography for like $2 each. You know what I mean?
Shut the
And
front door.
yeah, bro. And so after that, I kind of started like learning more about hip hop and getting more into it, and then like one of my friends showed me FL, and he was making some crazy ass beats. R.I.P. to him. He
Do
recently
you
died.
remember exactly what FL it was around the time? Just
Like
just
four,
God,
FL4, dude. You know what I mean?
Do you know how hard it was to make beats back? Like this was before FL Studio even got easy for producers. So
It was impossible, dude. There was no MIDI keyboards, none of that bullshit, dude. And then I ended up getting my hands on that shit. Started learning to make beats, but I was really rapping more back then, I guess.
I feel you.
And then I don't know, man. I'd say maybe 7 years ago, I probably started focusing more on production and getting better.
Well,
and then just learning more and more, trying to catch up. You know what I mean? Because, there was already Superstar O. Taz was already like coming up. Like I was in high school, like downloading Taz's beats and shit.
Well, actually, with Taz Taylor, we had discussed it in the notes earlier. I was going to talk about this later, but your early history with Taz Taylor, because I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but I was just listening to one of the episodes of your former Catch and Wave podcast with if I remember, Speaker and Wildlife Chop.
Yeah, Skywalker.
Oh, Skywalker. No, my apologies, but
yeah, no, you're good.
But
we were probably the first ones to interview Taz, to be real. We interviewed him 2 or 3 times. I don't really remember. I think it was 3 times.
I think it was twice on the SoundCloud, and I think the third interview was on Spotify or somewhere. I forgot where it was.
Yeah, I don't really remember because I re-released them, but I feel like there was a third episode that he like popped in on.
The third episode, really I remember because like I had first started following you when you had did the third episode.
Yeah, no, that third episode that you're thinking about is the combo episode of the first and the second. So the first time he came with Boy Band, who is now Internet. He was Internet Money back then, I guess, right?
Talking about Internet Money artist Countach. He was formerly known as Countach. He's been with Internet Money since way back. Yeah, formerly known as Countach. Now,
first interview,
alone in a boy band.
Yeah, and that interview, like y'all can check it out. Second interview, he showed up. We did that, and that was like right before he got his like designer placement and stuff like that. They were trying to like.
Taz had said in the first episode that he was going to LA to go finalize it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. But for some reason, it kind of took a long time, and he ended up getting the Khaled placement before that or something like that. I don't really remember, but like we didn't like necessarily work too much outside of the podcast. He just came and did the podcast, and I definitely had the opportunity to, which I highly regret now because, Taz Taylor collabs were like $150 back then, and I was asleep, bro. And to be real, because now the dude's like 30 times platinum or some shit.
I mean, trust me, bro. We all have those, and actually, while we're talking about this, before I get into why I chose the topic of discussion for today, we're talking about missing out on opportunities. Producers, I'm going to tell you, there are opportunities every day. We all can be getting this money. We all can be doing shit.
And I'm going to be honest, dude. The only time I've ever missed out on an opportunity, bro, was when I didn't play like my own melodies, dude. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm going to say it like this. In my cadence, if I would have just like collaborated like with my homies and like just would have been sending shit out more, even me as a drum constructor, like because like I don't really talk about the situation because like I'm not really a person that could brag, but I'm gonna bring my management on the podcast one day to verify, but my management can verify that I slipped out and missed out on opportunities with Don Toliver. Like now and then working at my 9 to 5, like I work Monday through Saturday. Like they play After Party on the radio now. Every time I be hearing, I just be sitting there like, oh God, like I should have just been putting in more work. I should have been sending my management those beats, like because he kept kicking me in my ass. Like, look, I'm telling y'all, Don, and he was saying this way before Don got signed to Cactus Jack. I think was like right after Don had did his first mixtape.
Is he from like Philly or something? How did he know about him?
Don Toliver. He's from down south, if I'm not mistaken. Like I haven't really done I haven't done my true research on Don Toliver, so I'm not going to give anything that isn't fact. But you know, the only thing I really know is that he signed with Cactus Jack. He's done a lot of work with Travis. He's done work with a lot of people, you know, in the back scene, you know, front scene writing as well. But at the same time, it's like just sitting there, just like every day, just like damn, like I slipped up on that opportunity. But I know I'm gonna catch up with him.
Bro.
I know I'm gonna catch up with him one day, and you know we gonna have his story. I'm gonna make sure you know I tell him the story. Like, look, bro,
yeah,
my man is been.
I'm telling you, if you have time, I mean, every producer needs to learn to make his own melodies. Like you have to, like using loops is cool and shit, dude. But trust me, like it's one of those things where you're just more valuable, dude. Like I've been cut out of situations where like life-changing shit, you know what I mean? Just because it wasn't my melody, it wasn't my loop, you know what I mean?
You know how many opportunities I see every day on Twitter? Just like I say like this, producers, I'm going to tell you another reason why you can make loops. Y'all can probably get placed, like, I'm not telling y'all that y'all going to get a guaranteed placement every time you send loops, because I'm going to tell y'all loop game got to be strong. Loop game got to be got to be on point, got to be on 200%, 2,000%.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I will say. But if you know loops, I'm telling y'all producers, like it's a whole different game. I know some people
for real.
Their job is to strictly just make loops. Like
yeah,
it's a lot
like,
more. It's a lot more money in that game.
Yeah, I focused in on it for like maybe the last 2 months, and I already have like some pretty promising shit like in the works type shit. You know what I mean?
And you know, actually, I've been paying attention because, of course, you make sure I stay updated on all the kits that that we have. You make sure I stay updated. But I've been noticing you've been giving back to the producer community a lot. You've been talking about your like the downloads rate has been higher than ever. Like, what's your like? What was your thing like? Just giving back to the producer community. Giving all these free kits. Because we got work with Wu, on his project, but Wu is making beats as well, and even Wu had got started using a couple of your drawings. Like, what was your aspect on just giving back to the whole community, just with all these free loops and all this free game?
Just trying to do something different. You know what I mean? That's why like it's not only the loops, like the beats are like all the MP3s are free with no tags now. You know what I mean? It's just giving people access to it more. That's why I don't know. The first kit I ever put out with Producer Grind was the Bluff Gawd Japan kit, and it got a ton of downloads.
One of the most. I still haven't finished using that kit yet, but I'm honestly
impossible. You'll never finish using it, bro. It's got so much shit in there.
Man, I'm trying to see if I can find some shit for KD in that joint right now. Actually,
yeah, it's something in there, bro. Guaranteed. It's like the never-ending sample pack, dude. I swear. And so that shit got a ton of downloads. It got 30,000 downloads, and then I put it up for sale, and it got a bunch of sales, but I should have kept it free. Yeah. And so I guess in a way to like fix it, I guess like everything I've been putting out recently as far as kits goes has been free. You know what I mean? Now, because at the same time, it's one of those things like I'm sending it out to bigger producers to work with for free anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to collab with more people. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it.
The whole producer grind start like shout out to producer grind. They have producer grind, they supported a lot of people, but I would definitely say that they have been, even when I was rapping, when I was still buying kits, when I was like rapping, trying to make beats, but they have definitely been supporting me for years, before they were even where they are now, before they had the podcast, before they had all these banging ass kits. But like how did you get that score with dealing with J Beats and them, getting your kit on there? Like,
dude, it was probably 2015. They didn't even have a podcast back then. Like, I just emailed them, you know what I mean? And they replied. Like, now, you probably can't do that with them now, you know what I mean? But
I'm really not going to say that because I do see a lot of producers like that, you know, that's not Dylan, not JB, and not the main cast
yeah,
that are getting kits on there, that got free kits on there. You know, I think it's all about, Dylan, he always talk about networking, communication. You know, he definitely be getting the people on the podcast, on the episodes, the call-ins and stuff, that definitely be giving game about networking. So I feel like producer grind will be the type of people, just like my guys at Major Loops. We give opportunity. We don't just sell kits. We give opportunity. Like, we're
yeah,
not just giving high quality sounds. We're giving opportunity. I could put
right.
that on Wave Guide, because just being in the position that I'm in, and I'm not even a loop maker in the company. I'm a drum constructor, but you know that is it's lit to see people like Big Blaze. Y'all got y'all first kits on there. Because I was using them
Yeah,
Jones when I first started making beats.
that was big, dude. And just seeing the amount of downloads kind of like blew my mind, just because it was like, I never got that many downloads on a beat or anything like that. And that's kind of what made me start working on kits a little more. But yeah, I guess the lesson in it was I should have just kept it free for real, you know. But
Uh,
at the end of the day, that's why these new kits are free, you know, just to try to seek out those opportunities that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or not even seek them out, just put the stuff out there, and whoever finds it, you know what I mean?
Speaking of opportunities, like I said, if anybody knows the legendary Bluff Gawd, you're known for some, placements to me aren't just about major artists, but it's about artists who can put out great content. And like the placements that you got on your list, like I'm gonna name a few for people:
Yeah,
Kota the Friend, Kevin Gates, Sir Michael Rocks, A Certain Energy, and you just got the placement with legend in my city, Freeway. You just got a
yeah,
placement with one of
legend
the legend.
everywhere, dude.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
look, no, Freeway, state property, worldwide legend. I'm saying her, like, as soon as you told us in the group chat, I'm like, he got one with a legend from my city, unbelievable. Like, and it's so crazy. Like, we can't give too much sauce because we're gonna give a little sauce. We're gonna drop the gems later on in the episode, but like we can just give a little briefing of how some of these placements came about.
Right.
I'm gonna start with Kota the Friend, because that's actually somebody who I've been listening to recently. And can you actually name the songs that you got with Kota the Friend, just so people can know what to listen to later after this episode?
Yeah, it's called Rolling. It's with a certain energies on that song too. Um, yeah, it. I think we did that song maybe 3 years ago with them.
Nice.
Yeah,
That John got a vibe. That John got a vibe to it. Like, I definitely fuck with that John on a serene type vibe. Like,
yeah, super chill.
and then Kevin Gates. If I remember the conversation we had, that was an engineering placement.
Yeah, yeah, it was because the artist on it, he's also actually the engineer, main SFSG. He's a artist engineer out here in Jacksonville, really dope. And yeah, he got a feature with Kevin Gates, and it was around the time he had like a bunch of my beats, and they just ended up picking one.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. And this is I was actually explaining this to producers in the last episode. So the power of collaborating and like knowing your game plan, knowing the people that you're going to work with, like I said, like that will possibly get you a placement alone, because like I said, it could be that next artist that you might know, that you might be working with. He might be in the studio with you know somebody that's major that get the feature.
Yeah, and
And
that's
then
how I
boom.
got all my placements. It wasn't like from selling a beat to somebody. It was just like sending out packs to artists that I fuck with.
That includes the Freeway placement, because if you had told me we had a phone call last week, you had told me Stucky is from New York, correct? New York artist Stucky.
Yeah, yeah, and I sent him stuff like a long time ago, like to the point where like I had changed phones. I didn't have his number saved anymore. I didn't, he hit me out of the blue type shit, and I probably haven't sent him anything in a while either, because that beat was off like an old computer, so it was probably like an older contact I had, and yeah, I don't know, like he's just been growing as an artist. His following's been growing. Like his plays have been going up on SoundCloud and stuff like that. And he somehow got the attention of Freeway, I think over Instagram. And then they started talking. He ended up getting the feature. And yeah, it was over my beat, same as the Kevin Gates situation. And I didn't tag my shit and I didn't label my shit. So he had to like go looking for it. So that's definitely something that producers should keep in mind, is like if you don't have a tag, like at least label like your email, phone number, Instagram, whatever in the actual beat title, you know what I mean?
That metadata is important. I said
Yeah, so
this in the
people can
last
find me.
episode. That metadata is important. Even if you don't have a tag, have your
Yeah, dude.
information. Have your
Cause he
information.
yeah, because he could have said fuck it, you know what I mean, and not gone looking for who produced it, you know what I mean? And I'd have never known.
The reason why I don't have a lot of my old rap songs uploaded is because I can't contact some of these producers. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna, like me, I'm a fair person. I'm all about crediting. I'm all about splits.
Yeah.
So that's like, some people tell me like, yo, how come your old stuff isn't on Spotify? Like, it's not because I don't want to put it on there, but I'm still about crediting. I'm still about making sure that if I'm going to be doing this, because like even though I don't really rap in the booth like that no more, I'm doing the podcast and doing beats. One
Right.
of those songs could wind up doing some streams just because
Yeah.
people are asking me just to upload it. So it's like I still want to make sure that the producer that I worked with still get their splits, and I can't get in contact with some of them. Some of them are too busy. People doing their thing. It ain't no problem. I feel like time will work itself. So you know but speaking on rappers and producers and collabs and splits, we're actually going to get into the next topic, because I know a lot of artists and producers were mind blown that you have over 150 songs that were distributed on distrokid that you got splits on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like about 150 if you like include my own.
Could you name some of the artists that you've worked with that people may not have known of? And it don't matter if it's major, underground, because my following, they know a lot of artists that they listen to that are underground that they be putting
Yeah,
me on. So
like Adro Money, he's really dope. 007 or 007 Bones is dope. Um, Justin Hires. I actually don't have anything with him on DistroKid right now, but he's a comedian and shit. He's a actor and a rapper, and he's super fucking dope. I got some shit with him. J-Fi, I got some shit with him on DistroKid.
J5, Gawd
Daryl
Speed,
B.
Gawd
Yeah,
Speed, executive produced by you, and like how much like that whole album, like not even just you with the beats, but like J5, like that's
yeah, he's dope, man. He's definitely doing some cool shit. He's really prolific. You know what I mean?
man.
I think this year alone, he's dropped a couple projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Godspeed was definitely probably the hottest one for me though, because
Yeah,
like first of all, he had that many songs, all of them back to back, just all had substance, all had great production, like great delivery on everything. And we're talking about 18 songs long, and there's not just no 1 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute types. We're actually talking about full
Yeah, full
verses,
on 4 minute
hooks.
beat switches up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing everything.
That's why I say you on that type vibe. We definitely got to send some new stuff to him. I actually talked to him a couple weeks ago, but that was like right at the time I was getting the podcast ready. So like, I got a lot of artists that I plan on working with right now, but it's just, with the podcast and everything, you try and manage your time.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that goes into the topic of the discussion, and humans, we use 100% of our brain as well, but like at the same time, like a lot of humans don't understand that. That's why I use the title, "What if Dolphins had iPhones?" Because I say it like this,
Yeah.
like dolphins use 100% of their brain. They have the mind of survival. They have the mind of instinct. They know how to make their every single move. And that's just something I knew growing up as a kid, like studying that shit. But
I think they'd would. So, what do you think they'd do if they had iPhones?
first of all, I say like this: if they had iPhones and they knew FL Studio, they probably take over the world. They probably
They'd get mobile. They'd start getting placements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think majority would probably start with like cat videos on YouTube.
TikTok.
Excuse me. Yeah, maybe TikTok. And then one of them is gonna find the Blackfish documentary.
Oh Jesus, that like I
Yeah.
said, that's gonna go bad. But people were trying to understand, like when I was putting it up last night, it's all a metaphorical speaking, because I had said it in the intro segment right before I had sent you the links and stuff for the video call. We use 100% of our brain. We have technology that is far beyond our span, that is still innovating to this day, like not even at its peak, because people are innovating technology every day.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that a lot of us, like I said, we included. We like to go on our little rants, go at our little, get at people, get our little Twitter wars and all that. Instagram, Facebook, and all that. I feel like the energy that we have with our phones is being shifted the wrong way. Like,
Yeah, I think people are wasting their access to technology.
it's crazy. My girl had told me this last night when I was telling her about the segment. My girl had told me this. She said, "Remember," and like I said, I'm not going to assume everybody grew up the same way, but like those like who grew up with their moms and like went to school and all that, like when you would listen to music instead of doing your homework, and she still like, if you knew them lyrics, like you knew your homework. So
Yeah.
it's like that. It's like that same reference like kind of hit, and it's like, what if we, let's say for example, everybody got their little notebooks, or everybody got the note app on their iPhone, or they probably got like Evernote or whatever app they have on their phone to write their notes. So let's say, what if we took the energy that we was putting into all those Twitter rants, hitting all those people up on Twitter, trying to collab with all those people, like, yo, you trying to collab, like this.
I know what you mean.
Exactly. Like if we put
Yeah.
what if we put that energy into our notes and our goals, and actually put
It's a podcast.
Yeah, like, or not even a podcast, like, or even putting the energy into getting beats done, or like the
Yeah.
artist putting the energy into getting the song done. Like, if you're going through something in life, instead of putting it on a public post where people can't even sit by you at the end of the day, but you can go into the studio and express that same pain on a song.
Yeah, that's what's that shit called? That's Napoleon Hill talks about some shit like that in Think and Grow Rich, transmuting energy, you know what I mean, into productivity.
The funny thing is, I haven't even read books recently. I'm actually, it's a few books that I plan on ordering in the next week or so, but
You should get that one, dude. You could probably get it for like $1.
I'm gonna say definitely send me the link, because I'm actually about to order the Mind of Wallow. Shout out to Wallow267. I'm about to order his book as well. So you send me the link to that, John. I'll just order both of them at the same time.
I got you. I'll send you that.
But But yeah, like for me, it's all about shifting the energy because, like, I'm a person of the same statistic as well. Everybody knows 215 got beats for his Twitter rants, for like going at people on Twitter. Where everybody know me for that. But lately, it's like, okay, like everything that's going on, all the stuff that's going on. What if we shift the energy into something we can really discuss, or
Yeah,
something we can really like put into beats, or put into a song, put into fashion, put into some photography. Like, it don't matter what your creative space is,
right.
there are so many ways you can do this. So my thing is, we just got to learn how to shift the energy. That's
Yeah,
all it's about. It's just all about shifting the
pay
energy.
attention to what you do and shit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's easy to get lost in it, you know.
definitely. So, you know, so like doing that like, and especially shifting that energy, like, I know that you buy books, you watch a lot of podcasts, you watch a lot of YouTubers, and what is your intake on the power of influencers? Because a lot of people, a lot of producers have right left energy about it. Some people think, oh, what are influencers doing? They shift or whatever. What is your intake on the power of influencers?
Uh, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, you kind of see how you gotta. First of all, you gotta kind of like learn about who influences you, I guess, because you don't want to like follow like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Someone who's gonna steer you down the wrong road and shit.
Facts.
Because like with this COVID shit, like for example, like there was certain like financial gurus, right, in quotes, who like, you know, on one hand, some of them like not much has changed for them. They're still doing their thing. You know, one guy like bought up a bunch of companies because of the COVID shit and the stock market crash, and then one guy like he completely fucked over his investors, lost a bunch of money, you know what I mean, and pretty much lost his business and all his credibility. So you got to kind of pay attention to who you're giving your attention to, I guess.
You gotta see which ones is the Dolphins and which ones is the Sharks. That's what
Yeah,
I say.
exactly. Yeah,
It's
that's a good way to put it.
for me.
You
For
know what I
me,
mean?
it's Dolphins and Sharks, because it's all about survival. But
Yeah, and the
it's like,
same shit applies to producers, dude. Like in the producer
oh yeah, it's Dolphins and
community.
Sharks and that shit too. You ever notice in them National Geographic shows, sharks always roam alone, dolphins always roam in twos, threes, fours.
Yeah.
They're a team.
Hmm.
They know they're using 100% of their brain. Like, oh yeah, this is my own species. So it's like, we gonna work together, because
Yeah, exactly.
we know we all smart. I know what you can do. You know what I can do. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly.
so I think that is a good intake, because everybody has their choice of influencers. For me, I got Gary V, I got Wallow, and
Yeah.
like I said,
And like
everybody.
Gary Vee is one of the people I was talking about. Like not much has changed for him during COVID. You know what I mean? It seems like he's doing the same shit. He's not like begging for money and trying to sell you shit just
Actually,
because like,
he just took a vacation for a week. Actually, he's not like
yeah. So
he's still spending time with family, doing what he's doing.
and that's how you know, dude. The shit, the hard times show it, dude. Like you see how many producers come and go. You know what I mean? I'm being nice. Like,
Man, speaking of, like, you know, I just seen a couple of producers get their very first sale since the COVID. Like,
yeah,
I can't name them, because like it was so many posts like this week, but it was some producers who just got their first sale. Whether it's Track Train, whether it's BeatStars, no matter what the platform was, but they just got their very first sale. So
yeah.
it's like, what? So like, what would you tell producers in COVID who still haven't gotten to be sales, who still haven't probably gotten a placement or something that they're looking
I don't
for?
know, dude. It's hard to say because um, like I'm back working a 9 to 5 as well. You know what I mean? It is. It's not like I'm working for somebody else type shit. Like I'm working for family with family. You know what I mean? Not for family with family type shit.
Yeah, and that's
So
good. And you know, the one thing I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell all producers, like the 9 to 5 does not discredit. You know, it doesn't discredit who you are as a producer. You know, you take that
no,
non.
because at the same time, like that allowed me to put all the MP3s up for free. You know what I mean? People prefer MP3s. All my sales were MP3s, bro. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I just made them all free.
Yep.
Um, all, a lot of my sales period were kits, and they're all free. You know what I mean? Well, not all, but all the ones that aren't free, I cut them down by 50 or more percent of what they used to be. You know what I mean? And the 9 to 5 allowed me to do that. So I'm not necessarily relying on beat sales right now. I'm trying to like get more creative to, I guess, make songs, get on bigger songs, be a part of like bigger artist catalogs and stuff like that. And
I can honestly agree with you on the same thing because like I'm gonna say like this. I probably made, you know, ever since I stopped uploading beats, I probably made a good 2 3K off of customs, off of mixing and mastering and stuff like
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
still got.
and that's another thing. I'm not necessarily making that much less than I was when I was like kind of like hustling, doing it like at the crib, like making however many beats a day, sending them out, DMing motherfuckers. Like fuck all that shit, dude. Like now I just make beats when I got an idea, and I make sure that it goes to the right place. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, like those artists that I'm sending shit to are willing to pay for it anyway. They're not like
Mm-hmm.
out here trying to get it for cheap type shit. You know what I mean? Like trying to haggle with me. Like they're more professional anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily losing out on money.
I always be
Um,
telling producers get with them professionals, like build that chemistry with them professionals,
yeah,
because
dude, just work, just work.
they the ones that's gonna give you that consistent income to where.
Yeah, people are scared to work for free and this shit, and it's like, bro, it's extremely
And you
unrealistic.
know and you know what, I'm gonna say it like this. I was definitely one of those guys. I was definitely one of
Yeah,
those
dude.
producers in that statistic, like around 2018,
Yeah, because
2019.
look,
Like,
dude, if you're at the crib and you're selling a bunch of beats and it's fairly easy for you, and you're not like doing shit you don't want to do, like that's what's up. You know what I mean? But I feel like for people like that, they're always doing an extra thing. You know what I mean? They're probably like on YouTube and they got like a good YouTube following that fucks with them.
mm-hmm.
Like it's something like that. You know what I mean?
My
So
my gig, and you know, I'm not saying this sauce will work for every producer, but my gig is really just keeping up with my Twitter and Instagram following, and like
yeah, there's a million ways to do it, dude. You know what I'm saying?
that's really been my bit. And I'm not gonna say like, because I haven't had a
Yeah,
beat sale. I haven't had beat sales for probably a month or so, but a lot of opportunities are
yeah,
definitely at hand. Like, you know, I can't, like I said, it's a lot of sauce I
yeah.
can't spill, but at the same time, like,
I'm really trying to look, dude. My thing is like I've tripled my BMI earnings every quarter over the last year or so. You know what I mean? So it started at like a couple bucks and it's tripled every time. You know what I mean? And I'm really focused on growing that shit, dude, because you get a song with the right artist, dude, that shit plays forever. You know what I mean? And the more of those you do, like fuck beat sales, dude. Like I just want to get with artists who can get fucking a million plays a million times. You know what I'm saying? Because they're out there, dude. They're fucking out there, and
the
people aren't
Dolphins are
looking
out
for them.
there.
People aren't looking for them because they're trying to get like sales and shit. People be worried about sales. Like I'm not talking about you, bro. Like I fuck with you and shit. Like, but it's
No,
yeah.
trust
Don't
me.
take this the wrong way. Like,
None take it,
but here's the
and
thing.
I won't
Like
take it the
people,
wrong way, because, like I said, like you know, I could put myself in that statistics,
you
because I was definitely one of those guys. Like, I can produce the producers who are definitely those right now. I was one of those guys, and I'm gonna tell you, like, at a certain point, you will learn.
look,
Like
but
I learned.
some dudes are fucking crazy though, bro. They'll like just
Yeah,
make some shit and it's like, bro, like have you heard music before? Like this is what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like and it's really
I
just
say it
because
like
they
this:
think it's they're gonna make
if
a
your
bunch
shit
of money
hot,
real quick.
if your shit hot, roll your
Yeah.
dice. But if you just starting out, like, you know, but you
Nah,
know,
bro. You
2018.
gotta know what you're doing to a certain degree, bro. Like people shit
But
on tutorials, but shit, watch some, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I
at the
mean?
same time though, like it worked for me for a bit because like I didn't start making beats at 2018. I've been doing beats for a long time. It's just 2018 was the first year that I was selling beats.
Yeah.
So it's like I was already like I already had a placement with one
Yeah.
of
The
Jeezy's
best
form.
look, honestly, bro, the best way to promote your beats is to put out a fire song, dude. Hundred
Mm-hmm.
percent.
Trust me, like
100%, dude.
look, I say it like this. I'm not even gonna hide the information. Like people haven't been seeing my Instagram stories or Twitter posts or whatever, but you know, this skyscraper song that I got with Jen dropping and
Yeah.
co-produced by Pedro, like I said, like people don't know like
Yeah, bro.
like Zen was one thing, but like this skyscraper song is like they're gonna be sitting here like, what? Like they
Yeah,
gonna think
for real.
they gonna think he did this.
You still
Like
gotta send me that, bro.
yeah, I definitely still got to send it because like everybody who I send it to, they just losing their mind. Like, what the hell? Like you put this shit together? I'm not even on no DJ Khaled shit. I'm on a whole, I'm on my
Right.
own whole way with this shit because it's like, Khaled got his groove. And the one thing I like about DJ Khaled, and I tell people, somebody had to put me to the side and have this conversation about DJ Khaled because like I was sitting there trying to understand, but not only is DJ Khaled consistent with hits, he is consistent with the people that he put out hits with.
Yeah.
Everybody who he put out hits with, like it's kind of a what Rick Ross called it, power circle on some Rick Ross type. So
Yeah.
it's like a power circle. So it's like a
It's like a
lot of
group of
people.
superheroes, bro.
Exactly. Like basically, I say DJ Khaled is like the Marvel of the rap game because it's like they can make a comic book with DJ Khaled. He got
Yeah, straight up.
all these superheroes. Like it's like a
Yeah, for
Marvel
real.
DC comic. So it's like, but like I said, it's like the power of collaborations. Even DJ Khaled said it on an interview recently that he was giving out his beats free, and that's how he kind of managed to work out a lot of his placements and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
like I said,
And here's the thing: when you're giving out free beats, like I got to dip in a few actually, but I'm gonna say this: like when you gotta fucking when you're giving out free beats, that doesn't mean you're giving up the exclusives for free. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're giving up any percentage of anything. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, don't be afraid to like just send shit out to people and let them record, and don't fuck with them about you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Just
but
let them do their shit. You know what I mean? Because that's really like the best way to like get your shit off, bro. You know?
so the last two topics we're gonna discuss before we got a jet on this episode. Your history with some of these artists that you spent your time to collab with, because we definitely gotta talk about all these guys. We can't disrespect them before we leave out on the podcast.
Yeah. No.
Almighty
Well.
Dank, J
Yeah.
Phi, and Big Ray. You definitely build your catalog with them like throughout the past years.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I met AllMightyDank probably last year, late last year. You know what I mean? He did like a contest for like one of his songs. I did a verse. You know what I mean? I won, and shit was cool. And we just kind of went from there. Started sending him beats. We've been working. Um, Big Ray, Broadway Louie, J-Fi. Like this is actually my first project with Big Ray that is coming out. Godzilla. It's a collab with J-Fi. I've known all three of those guys for probably about 5 years now, just from like doing shows because I used to like put shows together out here, and
Facts.
yeah, I would put them on the lineup and shit, and yeah, they were dope, and we just kind of like stayed connected. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, the last thing I'm gonna say, because building this catalog, getting the DistroKid splits, getting those placements, especially if people go to Bluff Gawd Radio and actually check out his podcast, we're not gonna give all the info because I'm gonna make sure he get his streams up on his podcast too. If you listen to his most recent couple episodes, he'll tell you about some trials and tribulations that he was going through all this shit, still getting all these placements, still getting all that, but overcoming these trials and tribulations, like what are your plans for 2021 and like for the rest of the year?
Um, Honestly, just continue doing what I've been doing probably all year. Working on like my own songs, like at my own pace type shit. Working
You
on.
definitely gotta send these new loops to Illmind, bro, because that
Yeah,
Common kit.
I have been, bro. I hope something lands. I've been sending him everything. You know what I mean? I'm part of his IPC club and shit,
For sure,
or
for sure.
whatever that shit is called. I'm part of
So,
that, so I'll be sending him loops all the time. Like I hope something lands.
so just to really, just to really tell producers how to, really take this episode into consideration. Like, the point of it is that opportunities, learning, practicing, and just I'm a drum constructor, so somebody like me, learning everything about the industry, learning everything about music, learning everything about your copyrights. Like what would you tell these producers that are still learning, that are just coming in the game? Like, what's the best advice that you would give every producer to?
Just take your time, dude. Just take your time. Pace yourself, dude. Just take your time. For real.
Well,
Like
but
you don't need to rush nothing. Like you don't need to set all your shit up in one day. You don't need 100 beats the first day you launch your site type shit. Just take your time, work on your shit. You know what I mean? Learn about your shit.
speaking of that 100 beats a day, how do you feel about? Now, I'm not saying it's cap, because I know it's producers that actually do this, but how do you feel about the cap on the 10, 15 beats a day thing?
Bro, that's not impossible, bro. I've done 10 a day. I've done 10 a day plenty of times.
But do you feel like every producer should be doing that, or do,
Hell
like you
no.
said?
I mean, look, it depends, dude. It depends where you're at. Because people want to talk quality. Excuse me, my throat's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
People want to talk quantity over quality, but you have to do the quantity to get to the quality. Quality is inevitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it was
So
great.
do as much as you can. You know what I mean? If you can do 10, do it. But like, they're probably not all going to be fire, and if they are, that's what's up. But if they are, you probably don't need to do 10 a day.
Well, like I said, bro, it was definitely great, giving these gems out to these producers, to these artists, because producers, you definitely to take these gems into consideration and start. Now, I'm not saying you got to do this with every artist, but like, if it's an artist that you like, an artist that's in your following that you really want to, connect and link with, make that plan work, make that game work. That next hit might come.
Yeah, dude, just work. Don't be afraid to work.
But no, it was good. It was great. It was great talking to you, bro. And
Appreciate you having me, dude.
before we leave, I like to tell everybody, give everybody, the socials. Make sure you follow my guy Bluff Gawd on Instagram and Twitter
Yeah, there's an
at
underscore. Oh, there you go.
Bluff Gawd GAWD.
Thank you, bro.
And make sure, producers, go on his website. This guy got like 10 free kits on there,
Yeah.
all sauce. And also, to also mention, I also wanted to thank you for, giving me the opportunity, because you also got my Nitro hi-hat mini kit sitting in your store as well.
Yep.
If producers, if you need your
I use that shit
hi-hats,
all the time.
yeah, if you need your hi-hats on another level, we also have a free beta version that you want to, if you want to use before you want to buy the kit.
Yeah,
we have a free beta version.
all the kits that are for sale, there's a free version, bro. So you don't gotta like guess what's in that shit. All the shit is original, bro.
I'm still using the beta for cheat activated.
Look, bro. There is no recycled bullshit in there. Bruh. Just get the shit, bro. Get all the free shit. If you want to pay $5 or $10 for a kit, get the other shit.
They going to hear a sample of the sauce, because I'm gonna put like a little 30-second intro, before the episode and all that when I do the editing.
Thank you, bro.
Make sure follow my guy Bluff Gawd.
BluffGawdBeats.com.
BluffGawdBeats.com for your beats and for your free beta kits before you buy them.
Free beats too. Shit.
Y'all already know my social 215 Gawd Beats, no underscore, no under that. GOD. Let Me Rap With You podcast. Y'all already know. As said, no space, no underscore. But it was great rapping with you, bro. It was great,
Thanks for having me, bro.
dropping these little bit of gems, and we definitely gonna have a roundtable episode with a couple of guys from the gang probably later on.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. Ain't take too long to drop those gems today. You feel me? But like I said, you can still sell beats, still sell your leases, still sell your exclusives. This isn't no episode to tell y'all, oh, I gotta send free shit to people now. Nah, it ain't like that. It ain't like that at all. But the one thing I will say is that really take into consideration the artists, the producers. It don't matter who goes to who. There are artists who goes to producers just to they'll put bank on it, or they might build a chemistry with the producer. Vice versa, it's producers that go to the artist and build the chemistry. I know I've done it both ways, but at the same time, don't just look at money as the opportunity, because I'm going to say this. Bluff already had gotten off the phone call, but I'm going to say this before I leave out this episode. Don't look at money as the very first opportunity when it comes to selling beats, when it comes to giving beats. Yes, you need to solidify yourself. Make sure your information is there. Make sure your metadata is correct. Make sure you have your tags on the beat, all that. Make sure all that's solidified. But at the same time, don't just look at money at the situation, because you will slip up on a lot of opportunities. Like I said, I slipped up on the Don Toliver, situation. I'm going to talk about that on another episode, when I get my management on that one. But it's a lot of opportunities that I slipped up on with a lot of people, a lot of up-and-coming artists that are really making waves right now, just because I'm trying to look at money as a situation. So what I tell y'all, I'm just saying this from experience. What Bluff was saying about, just art producers who look at money first is the wrong route. I know. I'm a prime example. So I'm a person, trust me, I host this podcast. So the host is telling y'all that he's a prime example of some gems that, we had to drop on y'all. That's, it's a hard factor on some of y'all, but it's the truth. So, but, thank y'all, for tuning in. Like I said, we're definitely going to do a fan appreciation. I actually think I'm going to do that for every episode. Once every episode reaches about 80 to 100 views, we'll do like a live with a guest, and we'll do like a fan appreciation and all that stuff. We're going to get all that together. So, it was great tuning in with, everybody was great tuning in with my boy Bluff Gawd. It's great that I got people, hitting me up, telling me that I'm really dropping gems on them. It's great to hear from y'all. You already know. We're going to see y'all for episode 3 next week. It's boy 215 Beats, aka Streets, aka you already know this. Let Me Rap With You podcast. Peace.